4 stocks I really want to buy soon. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and in today's video we're going to be speaking about 4 stocks that I hope to buy very soon. Literally today or next week at the latest, all going well. And these are all companies that I don't currently own, but I would absolutely love to have in my portfolio. In today's video, you can expect us to look at each company's balance sheet, their PE ratio history, their stock price history, and the most up-to-date news surrounding these companies. And let's not drag it out. Here are the 4 companies we're going to be speaking about today. Number 1, Spotify, which is one of my biggest regrets, and we'll get into why. 2, Qualcomm, who is potentially the biggest play on 5G at the moment. 3 is PayPal, potentially the future of transactions. And 4, we have Virgin Galactic, the company who wants to send the everyday person to space. Potentially a little bit higher risk in nature, but the growth potential is immense. So the very first company we have to look in today is Spotify. And right before we get into analysing them, can I ask you to please drop a like on this video? Let's see if we can hit 400 likes. That would be sick. If you're new around here, please subscribe. We're currently on 8,700 subs. That's very close to 10,000. And when we get to 10,000 subs, I have 2 extremely exciting announcements. To me, they're literally 2 life-changing announcements. And lastly, please drop me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on any of the companies that we cover in today's video. I would appreciate it massively. So with that being said, let's get to the first company of today, which is Spotify. So very first company of today is Spotify, who we can see just went up 10% yesterday alone. At the start of the video, I mentioned that these guys were one of my biggest regrets. So on May 20th, I made a video about Spotify, speaking about, the fact that Joe Rogan's podcast is now exclusively going to be on Spotify. And I was very interested in buying the stock, but I just thought it may have been overvalued. And since the 20th of May, the stock price has gone up by over 40%. I am kicking myself. And this has happened so often to me that I don't buy a stock because it's doing very well, for good reason, and I believe it may be overvalued. And things like this happen. Why didn't I just click the buy button? I knew I wanted to click the buy button. You stupid. But anyway, on the 6-month chart, we're looking at a company who pretty much didn't have a dip. It was a very small dip, if anything. And they have had this insane recovery of over 115% from their recent lows. I mean, that is crazy. And this is a big company too, a $49.74 billion market cap. It's not some little company. It's not some spec stock or a penny stock. It is a stock that trades at $267 a share. A quick look at the balance sheet, and it's in quite a good place, okay? Current assets, $2.36 billion. Total assets, $5.38 billion. Current liabilities, $2.57 billion. And total liabilities, $3.32 billion. So, nothing spectacular. Your jaw doesn't drop when you look at it, but it's a good balance sheet. And I mean, you have to be in some sort of a decent financial position to go ahead and sign a contract with the likes of Joe Rogan to launch exclusively on Spotify. The deal is believed to be worth about $100 million. That is a lot of money for a company like Spotify. Only a matter of weeks later, not even a month later, they come out and say that Kim Kardashian West has just snagged an exclusive podcast with Spotify. I mean, Spotify's doing something right. Kim Kardashian West has entered into a deal with Spotify to produce and host a new exclusive podcast. Kim Kardashian is the 7th most followed person on Instagram. And Instagram is the first one. So really, she's the 6th most followed person on Instagram. That is going to do amazing things for Spotify. And now analysts are actually saying that Spotify has room to go up. It has plenty of room to go up. A Goldman Sachs analyst, Heath Terry, reiterated his buy rating for Spotify shares and lifted his target price from $205 to $280. But Spotify is making some big moves, they're making serious moves. While most of the world is just trying to survive and get through these tough times, Spotify's out here signing Joe Rogan and Kim Kardashian. They clearly want to take over. They want to be the streaming platform. They don't want to let Amazon or Apple or Disney or anybody even get their foot in the market. And right now they're doing a fantastic job. So usually I don't like buying companies that have gone up in value so much in such a short period of time. That's just me. I don't really like doing it. But I mean, at this stage, guys, I only really see one way for Spotify, and that is up. Of course, there could be some sort of a pullback. If the whole market goes red, Spotify will go red. But I ain't gonna live my whole life in fear of a few red days. So I most definitely do plan on buying some sort of a position in Spotify, either today at market open or next week sometime. And me personally, I absolutely love tech stocks. That is the way my portfolio is shifting. So Spotify just makes an awful lot of sense to me personally. I've just missed out too many times because I've thought, the stock's price is too high. But as all of the legendary investors say, stonks only go up. Second company of today, we're having a look at Qualcomm. probably the biggest 5G player that is out there right now. And on the 6-month chart, from their very highs, they're still down about 7.25%. And from the very lows, they've gone up about 46%. So nothing really crazy special has happened here, which is part of the reason they are really catching my eye at this particular price point. And we can see it's been a slow kind of last few weeks, to be honest. Not really much has happened. Now we have a look at the balance sheet. Current assets 15.3 billion, total assets 31.9 billion, current liabilities 9.7 billion, and total liabilities 28.89 billion. So a good balance sheet. Short term absolutely fine, long term not the best in the whole wide world, but they have a lot of growth coming. And this is a company who currently has a PE ratio of 26.4, so traditionally that's quite a high PE ratio. And you know, traditionally these guys have been probably between 14 and 18. Then EPS went negative for a little while, okay, and since it's gone back to being positive, okay, 36, 30, 26, 21, 25, 20, 26. So for the last year and a half, this is about where the PE ratio has been. And the dot-com bubble aside, okay, this company has seen some really nice growth on the max stock chart. They do also have a dividend yield of 2.92%, but that doesn't really have any influence on me and me buying the company. It's obviously a little bit of a bonus, but it doesn't really matter. I'm looking at these guys as a potential growth company, or a company that I believe will give me a good portion back. So Qualcomm will be a 5G winner, says a bullish Bank of America. So they stand to benefit from global carriers that are requiring smartphones to support the technology as part of the 5G upgrade cycle. And Bank of America maintains a buy rating on Qualcomm stock with a price target lifted from $100 to $115. That's a big upside. Keep in mind, they're only trading slightly below $90 at the moment, so that's decent. Qualcomm's management estimates its market share of the technology in 2020 stands at 100%, as it is the only vendor that offers an end-to-end modem to antenna millimeter wave solution. This is the 5G thing. Qualcomm's exposure to Apple alone could have resulted in incremental $3 billion from the 5G iPhone launch. That is not far away, and $3 billion would look very nice on Qualcomm's balance sheet. It's estimated that these 5G handsets will represent 25 to 75% of all 5G handsets throughout 2024. I would personally expect that to be on the higher end of things. I mean, pretty much everybody nowadays has a 4G phone. I know when 5G phones come out, I'm going to get one. And if these guys get a really nice relationship going with Apple, in the long term, that's going to be absolutely incredible. And if you weren't aware, Apple and Qualcomm were actually in this 2-year battle over patent licensing, which is all over now. And it's speculated that Apple's need for 5G chips might have spurred the iPhone maker to negotiate. This in itself shows that Apple as a company may well need Qualcomm, and we all know how well Apple are doing and how much potential Apple have. That only stands to say very good things about Qualcomm. This is definitely a company that at this price point, I am happy to put some money in. It might take a year or 2 years for us to really know the long-term potential of Qualcomm, but by then the opportunity could be gone. So I'm not going to let myself miss out on another opportunity because I'm stubborn. But that is it for Qualcomm. So the third company of today that we're going to be having a look at is PayPal, okay? And this is a company that I would absolutely love to own. This one company is somewhat intertwined to everything that I want to be successful, and that is e-commerce. Now already from their recent lows, they have rallied up over 100%, and they have a PE ratio of 109.18. So the question has to be asked, has a lot of the short to medium term growth already happened, or is it still worth getting into PayPal? So this is a company who I mentioned in a video from June 13th, okay, and then since then they've rallied up over 11% again. Stonks only go up. So the very first thing we'll do is we'll have a look at the balance sheet, okay? And first of all, current assets 38.1 billion, total assets 54.2 billion, current liabilities 27.4 billion, and total liabilities 38.2 billion. So very good balance sheet. Very good balance sheet. Now the PE ratio has always been very high. You know, it's been around 50 or so, but now it's all the way up at 110. Their EPS is down and their stock price is way up. The thing is, I really want to own this company. Like really want to open up my app and see PayPal there for the next 10 years. It's just very hard for me to go ahead and buy a company that is at such a high PE ratio and has gained so much in such a short period of time. But again, I've said this before and I've missed out many times. And whenever we speak about PayPal, you somewhat have to speak about Square as well. So here's an article, PayPal versus Square. Traders take their pick on high-flying payment stocks this year. Square has risen 67% in 2020 and PayPal 57%. Both of those numbers are absolutely disgusting, guys. Just take a second to think about the fact that the market as a whole is still down and these two companies are up so much. And Square is a company I have some interest in, but I'm going to make a full video on them soon. So if you want that, just make sure to smash that like button or even drop me a comment. So Mark Tepper, president at Strategic Wealth Partners, okay, he says PayPal is a pure play on e-commerce boom. that's what I play on right now. That's what I believe in. That's the companies I'm buying. That's why I'm in all of the FANG stocks, except for Netflix. That's why I'm in Microsoft, all of these things. While Square could get hurt by its exposure to smaller mom and pop shops. Now, I'm not trying to fight against Square here, because I also think Square is an amazing company. But if I could only choose one, right now, it more than likely would be PayPal. They've just been around an awful lot longer as well. And PayPal is a very, very, very established brand worldwide. If I went to anybody in Ireland who's not involved in the stock market or up to date with current news, and I asked them, what do you think about Square? They'd be like, what, the shape? If I say the word PayPal to anybody, more or less anywhere in the world, they're going to know what it is. So as of right now, Square does have an advantage with their Cash App over PayPal's Venmo, okay? But I more or less would see that as a positive catalyst for PayPal as they upgrade that system. And I also think that is a very, very good point to be made. Right now I'm contemplating opening a small position, maybe like 1 share, and then hopefully dollar cost averaging down, you know, just so I have some position in PayPal. I mean, if I saw PayPal back at these levels here, around 125 to 130, even 140, I would be so inclined to buy these guys. And that goes for every company we're speaking about today, you know, stock market crash 2.0 or the pullback, whatever you want to call it. If that is to happen, these are some companies I will be loading up on. But that is it for PayPal. Okay, the fourth company up today, a quite exciting one, a little bit speculative in nature. We're looking at Virgin Galactic Holdings, ticker symbol SPCE. Right, 6-month chart's weird, let's just ignore it, okay? But right now, basically, we're at $15 a share. They're up 7% pre-market, going up to $16.35 a share. These are a company that I am buying today. I'm buying them today. I've already decided it's happening. Now, keep in mind, I do believe these are higher risk than the large majority of companies that are in my portfolio. But I just think the growth potentials, it's crazy. I don't know where it even caps off at. These fellas right here literally want to bring me or you to space. I mean, who else just brings an average fella up to space? They are the world's first commercial space line and vertically integrated aerospace company. Their mission, to be the space line for Earth, means we focus on using space for good while delivering an unparalleled customer experience. Now, the full cost to fly on the vehicle is currently $250,000. And as of right now, more than 600 people have reserved a seat aboard the company's 6-passenger Spaceship 2 craft. Right now, these guys have a market cap of $3.21 billion. But right now, they also have a balance sheet that reads current assets $475 million, total assets $548 million, current liabilities $113 million, and total liabilities $136 million. So, a very good, very good balance sheet, but a very small balance sheet. But this is one of those companies, guys, who, if they are successful, they could literally change the way the world works. And when a company changes the way the world works, there is potential for insane money to be made. So as a young investor with a relatively high risk tolerance, I'm very happy to put some money into these guys. I definitely understand they're not for everybody. They're not the safest company in the world, you know what I mean? They're not your standard company, but they're exciting. And in the past, I kind of said I never really had any interest in them. I wasn't willing to look into them. I've done my research at this stage, and I'm willing to take the risk. Probably won't open a massive position. Maybe something to 20 to 25 shares. Something along those lines. Which for my portfolio, it's a decent position. But I just know that when I get excited about a company, when I get disinvested in a company, I really want to invest in them. You know, I want to put my money into them. And, you know, it could lead to some red in my future. It is what it is. I don't mind. But they are the 4 companies, people. So guys, there we are. I know I've been speaking a lot lately about the market crash and things like that. So there's 4 stocks that I do plan on buying very soon, all going well. And of course, over the weekend, I'm going to have my top 10 stocks to buy now type video out. I always have to release one of them for the people. You know how it is. That's the best videos on the channel. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. I was able to give you some sort of insight into at least one of these companies. You know, put something on your watch list. That's always the goal for these videos. I do really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, I would massively appreciate you just gently tapping that like button if you haven't yet, and also drop me a comment. If you watched till the end of the video, you're a real one. You're a true legend. I love speaking to you in the comment section. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I hope you get some juicy deals, and I hope your portfolio is very green, okay? I will see you for tomorrow's video. Have a good one. Peace.